Well, that one's done. And Tampa had their dominance early. Paquette with his first from Callahan, and Tampa takes that lead, takes that control. Um, this series really it's come down to a matter of control. Uh, Palat scores his sixth from Kucherov on a goal that I thought Holtby should have had. And then Callahan scores early in the second from Strawman and Kunitz. And that goal was just one of those wacky, bounced off somebody into the net kind of goals. I don't put that one on Holtby. The second one, he probably should have had. And certainly there was a lot of talk about that in tonight's coverage on TV. The Capitals didn't give up, and I will say that. Kuznetsov scored his 11th from Niskanen and Oshie. Then in the third, Ovechkin with his 11th from Carlson and Eller. That was with a minute and a half left in the game. The problem is Washington in the first period didn't look particularly ready. And again, you can't allow that. That's the thing. You can look at the other things that happened after that first goal, but you just can't let Tampa have that first goal. Tampa's too good. They're just too good. And they're one win away from the Stanley Cup. Now, I can't see the Caps losing 3 in a row at home either. I will agree with people who've already made that comment, and I agree. I see this one probably going to 7. 2 nights from now, I would expect Washington to come out at home with the same kind of start that Tampa showed tonight against Washington. The issue really, if you're a Caps fan, is that Holtby's confidence seems to be shaky for the most part. And then you've got the fact that they have to win 2 in a row against a team that has looked pretty darn good in the last 3. This series is really close. It really is. It's very, very close. This game wasn't a blowout. It looked like it could be early in the second period, and then Washington fought back. But while Vasi had to make 28 saves on 30 shots, and Holtby had to save 19 out of 22, so Washington controlled the shot clock. This is where you lose the game right here. That first period, when you're fighting back from 2 goals down, and then 3 at the start of the second, that's what does it. That just makes it so much more difficult. Is the series over? No. Tampa and Washington are pretty even for the most part, but Washington needs Holtby to steal one, and Washington needs more puck luck for Ovechkin. Ovechkin gets the goal tonight, which is good. There was the one off the post. There were a couple of shots he had that went wide. I thought there were times in the third where they overpassed a little bit. But they make it close, and in the dying seconds, they were around the Tampa net again. So they have to shake this one off. There is no room for error now. It's an elimination game in Game 6. And Vasilevsky is playing, I think, the best hockey he's played in the playoffs. I think this is the best he's looked for the whole playoffs. And we'll see where things go in Game 6. Again, Washington is going to be fighting against that history with non-Washington fans. And some Washington fans who are going to feel defeatist right now. And I say that as a fan of Vancouver. There's a feeling I get when I go, oh, the tide has turned and our team is done. And it can be really hard to shake that feeling. So if there are Caps fans feeling that way, I get it. I go through that myself. But, tonight's game, I don't know. I mean, you can't take moral victories at this time of the year. You can't look and say, well, we probably should have won that game. No big deal. We'll win the next 2. That's tough this time of year. And going into Tampa and winning, they did it the first 2 in this series. And tonight it just looked like Tampa wasn't going to give this one up. And that was the look of it from the beginning. So, anyways, you guys can let me know what you thought in the comment section below. There's already some comments on the channel regarding tonight's game and how some Caps fans feel. And again, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus on this. because I don't blame anybody in Washington for this. This was just Tampa came out and put a stopping on them early, and then held on for the win. And at this time of year, a 3-2 win, it's a win. So yeah, I mean, if this had been a laugher, Tampa might have been able to rest some guys down the stretch of the game and felt a little more relaxed about it. But it's a win, and they're one win away, just like Vegas. And this is going to be a very, very interesting next couple of days for hockey. Because tomorrow we got Winnipeg trying to stave off elimination. And the next day we got Washington trying to stave off elimination. And they're both doing it against teams that play in very warm climates. And that's where I'll leave that. But tonight's game was an excellent game. We did do the live stream on Patreon for the second and third period. And so that was a fun interaction that's posting to the channel as I speak. And yeah, the tough part for me, if you're a Caps fan, I don't see Stamkos on the score sheet, and they won. I don't see Point on the score sheet, and they won. I see Callahan, Paquette, and Palat with goals. So Kucherov got the assist on the goal by Palat, but outside of that, they kept the big guns off the board, and they limited them to 22 shots, and yet they still came out of this with the loss. So it's tough, but we'll see what happens tomorrow night. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.